officials who arrested British fugitive and son-in-law of Ghana's central bank governor had no warrant from the court here in Ghana. This was highlighted in court on Thursday during cross-examination of the BNI official by the lawyer for David McDermott. The UK government is seeking the extradition of Mr. McDermott to face trial for attempting to import cocaine into that country. Raymond Aqua has more in this report.
Suspected to have been a member of a Liverpool-based organized crime group involved in a conspiracy to import and supply cocaine, which was seized from a container of frozen Argentinian beef in May 2013 at Tilbury Docks. The BNI officer, Maglus Value, who led a team that arrested McDermott, came under massive pressure, compelling him to admit that they didn't seek an order from the magistrate here in Ghana before they effected the arrest. His explanation was that he perceived the order issued by the Liverpool court and signed off by the Interior Ministry was enough to warrant the arrest. Lawyer Victor Adawudu also questioned the authenticity of the arrest warrant because it was issued from the Attorney General's office on the same day the arrest was made. The court then postponed proceedings to March 30 for the cross-examination to continue.
Staying with the court, an Accra Circuit Court on Thursday granted bail to the 3 South African former police officers who were arrested in the central region for allegedly engaging in acts which threaten the security of the state. The charge relates to the air training of 8 of the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party and his running mate on how to better safeguard their security. The Circuit Court Judge Patricia Kwanzaa ruled that each of them be granted bail to the tune of 20,000 Ghana cedis with one surety each. Joy News' Raymond Aqua again was in court and filed this report.
3. Major Chris Haziz, Warrant Officer Denver Dwayne, and Captain Mulgisi Jokani, all retired, have been charged with 5 counts of conspiracy to commit crime contrary to Section 23 of Act 29 on lawful military training and making false declarations contrary to Section 52(1) of Immigration Service Act. Presenting their case before the court, the prosecutor, DSP Anon, stated that the 3 were invited by Captain Koda and Captain Aqua to train security personnel of the NPP. The accused persons pleaded not guilty to the charges. In opposing the request for bail, the state argued that it needed more time to investigate the matter since it has national security implications. Lawyer for the accused persons, Ellis Osu-Fojo, however, pleaded for bail for the accused, arguing that they are ready to cooperate with security agencies. The trial judge, Patricia Kwanzaa, upheld the argument of the lawyers for the accused, but ordered the BNI to keep the passports of the 3 South Africans. After the proceedings in court, there were some chaotic scenes just outside the courtroom.
It's at the instance of the registrar, not BNI.
But who is the registrar? Huh? Who is the registrar?
The registrar is supposed to be here. There we go. So why have you taken them away?
Let's go to the registrar.
Oh, it's in bad taste, eh? You shouldn't do this.
It's not in bad taste.
No.
Let's go to the registrar.
I speak to you.
This was after the BNI defied a court order for the accused persons to be held in court's registry. The move has outraged lawyers for the accused persons who had earlier in court demanded that their clients be held in the registry and released after the fulfillment of their bail conditions.
It's in bad taste because, you see, we are disrespecting the laws of Ghana, and these are foreigners. Don't give any impression that this is a kangaroo, country in which they treat people anyhow. How can a court of competent jurisdiction say that take the accused persons to the registrar and then go and look at the houses of the sureties so that bail is granted, and then you just whisk them away, defying the order of the court, and you are sending them back to BNI? What kind of arrangement is this?
What do you intend to do about this?
Well, it's going to carry far-reaching consequences for them. If they do not, go through the bail processes today and they are detained, and we are almost in a holiday, it will have serious implications. We are not going to joke with this matter.
You think it was deliberate?
Probably so. He was challenging me. He was challenging me that I was going to take them in the face of what the judge said, that now release them to the registrar as you go and look at the houses of the sureties.
But he has explained that this is a process you have to go through.
What process? There's no process like that. I'm telling you that when you come to court,
to get your house, if he doesn't actually get the 2 men going.
How? Do you need a man to know my house? The surety? It doesn't accord with common sense. He's saying that we should go and look at the houses of the sureties whilst the accused persons are with the registrar. And you can detail your security personnel to be at the registrar's office. And when you look at the houses of the registrar, that's the end. So what are they trying to do?
Today is Thursday. You suspect they want to keep him throughout.
It is very clear, but it will have grave consequences for them. I'm telling you, we are not going to lie low for them to treat us anyhow.
But you look helpless in this situation.
Oh, what can we do? We will not start any fight with them, but we'll use the law to bring them to order. Seriously so. A court of law granted individuals bail, and they were whisked away to the BNI. For what? You are curtailing their liberty. Immediately you come to court, you have surrendered the security of the individuals to the court. You do not have control over them again. When somebody is admitted to bail, his whole fate is with the court and not the investigator. So why do you take them back? This is not law.
What's next for you?
Well, we're going to see what the registrar will say. Because
The case has been adjourned to April 12, 2016.
prepare what? The bail is at the instance of the registrar, not BNI.
Where is the registrar? Where is the registrar?
The registrar is supposed.
Well, the last time we checked, just before we came on air, the 3 persons were still in the custody of the BNI, and the lawyer has not been able to get them out. But we're still trying, the Lions, and we'll bring you an update during this bulletin. But still, in relation to this detention of the 3 South African nationals, the opposition New Patriotic Party is accusing President Mahama of being behind a grand scheme to place the party's flag bearers, Nana Akufo-Addo's life in danger. This comes after the Bureau of National Investigations picked up the 3 South African nationals for unlawful training and charged them with conspiracy to commit crime. Addressing a news conference Thursday morning in Accra, acting chairman of the party, Freddie Blay, says the NDC and President Mahama are doing all they can to expose Nana Addo to attack.
The posture of the state authorities on this matter has led us with no choice. We have every reason to believe that the lives of our presidential candidate and his running mate are deliberately being exposed to high risk by the Mahama government. We will go as far as to say that the president and his government, with his government, is deliberately allowing the life of his main competitor or contestant for the 2016 presidential race to be endangered. It's important we disclose to the general public that the NPP have been receiving intelligence reports over a period of time that some people allegedly sympathetic to the government were planning to harm our presidential candidate, Akufo-Addo, and his running mate, Dr. Bawumia, and blame it falsely on an internal MPP on MPP attack.
Freddie Blay also described charges leveled against the 3 South African nationals as shocking.
The news was that the training they were offering posed a terrorist threat to national security. Later, holding the 3 men in custody unconstitutionally, the BNI finally charged them on the 4th day for unlawful training. Perplexingly, the crime that they have been charged with does not even exist under the laws of Ghana. What is unlawful training? Is there any law in Ghana that specifically regulates how a VIP protection personnel or a private bodyguard must be trained? Gentlemen, the BNI have not been able to show which part of the criminal code that they do the trial have breached. We see this as potentially a needless provocation of a diplomatic row between 2 friendly African countries for the sake of scoring a cheap and irresponsible political point. By this morning, the 3 men have been kept in custody for a 5th day, way beyond 48 hours. as the Constitution demands.
Watching Joy News, Fran, we have a lot more stories coming up. There are some more stories on threats to, this time, on the life of pastors. We'll bring you that when we come back from this break. Now, about 4 members of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council are alleging threats on their lives and that of their church members by unknown persons. It is not clear why the members of the council are being targeted, but they are also being asked to pay a ransom if they want to be spared. General Overseer of the Miracle Life Gospel Church, Reverend Gordon Kisser, tells Joy News the threats have been reported to the police.
Yesterday around 5 p.m., I received a text message from a strange number, and the number said they were demanding an amount of money from me because they had introduced themselves as armed robbers. Says, we are armed robbers, and we demand this amount of money from you, otherwise we'll kill you, we'll kill your family, and we'll kill some members of.
And you're saying this was a text message that you received from someone you probably do not know?
Yes, the number of the text message was there. So he stated the number. He said, I should send the money to that number, number which was in the text.
Has this issue been reported to the police? And you are told that you are not the only person who might have received this particular text message?
Yes. Yesterday, as soon as we got the message, we reported it to the police. And the police sent a patrol team to the residence, and then they requested for the number. So they called the number, and the person received it from the other end. And the person said he was speaking from somewhere else and not Accra. And he tried to be very evasive. So after the police left, he sent a second message to say that not even the police intelligence network, nor the media house, no Vodafone company, because it's a Vodafone number, can unravel this because he cannot be identified. And he demanded the money again on that second message.
Let's now speak with the Public Relations Officer of the Tema Region Police Command, ASP Juliana Obeng, and she's going to be telling us what the police is doing about the threats. Good evening to you, ASP Obeng. Hello. All right, unfortunately, it looks like we've lost her on the line, but we will try and get her back on the line. But the issue we're looking at so far is the fact that about 4 members of the Charismatic and Pentecostal Council say their lives have been threatened by some persons that are unknown to them. It is not clear why the members of the council are being targeted, but they are also being asked to pay a ransom if they want their lives to be spared. General Overseer of the Miracle Life Gospel Church, Reverend Gordon Kisser, has been speaking with us, and he tells us that the threats have been reported to the police, so the police are aware, and we're hoping to get to speak to ASP Juliana Obeng. I think we have her on the line now. Good evening to you, ASP Obeng.
Good evening, sir.
All right, so it's a pleasure to have you on the line, actually. What can you tell us about these the threats on the lives of these pastors?
Once again, good evening to you, good evening to your viewers. Let me start by assuring the good people, most especially those living in and around Tama, that the regional commander in Tama and the person of DCOB following is not taking security in Tama lightly. Yes, it is true that these 2 pastors who are part of the national executive for the Ghana Pentecostal Charismatic Council this afternoon were at the regional police headquarters to meet with the regional commander together with the district commanders for Community 1 and Community 11 to report officially the threat of death that has been issued to them via phone. We met with them. We have been able to put in place some measures to see or to tell you how serious we are taking this issue. We have ordered that investigation be taken over from the Community 11 police station where it was originally reported to the regional CID so we can have the strict supervision of the regional commander. Very much unfortunate that we would to put the measures that were discussed to make sure that these two persons involved, plus their loved ones, family members and church members who were also part of the threat, what we want to do is to just keep those measures to our chest, just so our opponents, that those who have issued those threats, do not fight back, knowing what we have put in place.
All right,
but assurance is that...
that's fine. I mean, it's fine that you don't want to disclose what strategies you're putting in place, but I want to believe that one of those strategies clearly has to be probably protection or enhancing their security. Is that one of the things you're looking at?
I don't know who I'm talking to, but I was going to talk to Israel. So, Mr.
Yes, Israel.
Telling you yes or no, giving a yes or no to this answer would still mean that I have disclosed something to my opponent, which will mean that they can fight me and then possibly win, which I don't expect to. I do not wish for them to win. And so please forgive me. The assurance, again, is that these two persons involved, that Reverend Godwin Kise and his colleague, are in safe hands. We have put in place very good measures to make sure that both two parties, family members, loved ones, are in secured hands.
How about any leads regarding the investigations? Are you making any headway, or do you have any clues you're following?
Like I said, this was just reported yesterday, and then today we met the regional commander. Like I said earlier, we have taken over the case from Community 11 District Headquarters to the regional CID to make sure that the regional crime officer, under the supervision of the regional commander, investigations would continue.
Right.
With the assistance, obviously, of the district where it was first reported. And so no worries about that at all.
One more thing I believe you should be able to share with me. Have there been any further threats, or have they received any additional text messages since the issue was reported?
Up until 6, when I left the office, there was nothing like that. I spoke to my regional commander some few minutes ago concerning the same issue, and he didn't mention anything like that. And so we assume that nothing of that nature has come up. Meanwhile, we have availed ourselves to Reverend Godwin Kise and his colleague and brother to intimate us on anything that would come up. And so, yes, we are standing by for any other thing that would come up via phone or via any other source.
All right, thank you very much. ASP Juliana Obeng is with the Tema Region Police Command. In other news, an estimated $80 million is needed annually by the National Tuberculosis Control Program to fight the increasing cases of TB in the country. As the world marks Tuberculosis Day today, the National Tuberculosis Program is asking for more funding and personnel to deal with the mounting cases.
Tuberculosis, though curable, remains a global menace. TB remains the leading cause of deaths in the world. A recent research conducted shows Ghana as a high TB and HIV burden country. Out of the 76,000 cases recorded annually, about 10,000 people die from the disease in Ghana. Program manager for the National Tuberculosis Control Program says the situation is not beyond their control if only they'll be given adequate funds and train more personnel. He says Ghana needs at least $450 million to fight TB for the next 5 years.
It's all about access to TB services. Those who are dying are those who are accessing our healthcare rather very late as a result of the stigma, as a result of not believing that TB is caused by a bacteria. They believe the underlying cause of their condition is that they have been bewitched. So if you've been bewitched, health sector is not the appropriate place to seek care. It's when everything has been done and exhausted and they can't do anything, then they run to the health sector for help. We're able to save quite a number of them, but in few of those cases, 9 out of 100, we are unable to. They die. So 9% of all TB cases are dying in this country, and that is high.
How much exactly do we need to fight TB in Ghana?
In the next 5 years, as a country, we are going to need $450 million US. But minimally, we need an average of $80 million US a year to enable us to effectively contain the infection and cure as many as we can. But currently, we have a huge funding gap. Currently, the government and the Global Fund is making a significant contribution. The government recently just approved a loan of €30 million to be used to fight TB. But that is adequate, but not sufficient. We are currently operating around $50 million budget a year compared to the $80 million budget a year.
The Health Minister, Alex Segbefia, says a national action plan is already in place to deal with the alarming figures.
Parliament in February approved a loan of 13 million euros to support the implementation of the national response to fight TB. This will be used to procure digital X-ray machines to be distributed to 49 district hospitals to actively screen for TB amongst Ghanaians in the country. At this point, I would like to request corporate Ghana to support TB control activities at the community level to complement government's efforts in expanding healthcare delivery systems through the CHIPS compounds.
As the world unites to fight tuberculosis, government is being urged to address the funding gaps on TB-related programs. Matilda Pamagan for Joy News, Accra.
Well, if you're wondering what your chances of acquiring the infection are, an expert says about 90% of Ghanaians have already been infected with the TB virus, though it may be dormant. Public health physician at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Nana Kunama-Kote, explains.
Sit here in this country, I can tell you about 90% of us are already infected with the TB bacteria. But you don't get the disease. You get the infection. We call it latent infection. You can have it as long as your immunity is good. You only get the disease when your immunity goes down. And so when the immunity goes down, then the bacteria start multiplying, the germs start multiplying. They multiply to a certain level, then the disease starts. That's when you start shedding the germ that causes TB. That's when you become infected. And then when people get TB, because it's an insidious illness, they start with a general feeling of ill health. We call it malaise.
Right, so now how does it feel to have tuberculosis? We're bringing you a story that was broadcast earlier about a patient or what a patient has to go through getting medication.
40-year-old Emmanuel Aiku Nunu recalls taking his last TB medication after the Makola No. 2 market caught fire.
Mama Rose, any doctor, no Mr. Crap, no. For this one, inside you. I do by police, no. Any security men, no more, no. Obi, my phone call inside, no. Sorry.
He has been denied access to the drugs, which for him is a lifeline.
Mama big to Nama, Madam Rose na koyene jumano. Ene ye bibri no ebe ha still na krapo high. Oh, still na se akre high o. Ena afi na mbeka so mbebie. Ena o je nipa bewu.
Emmanuel was diagnosed with TB in April this year. He told me the last few days without his medication have been hell on earth for him.
Me so da no pa me to me se me hunam nyina ye me ya. Me ti to me ye me ya pa ofanya agro me to me ye me ya ma. Na me we mu me ni mu nyina free so. To me afi me na me num ay nyu edwane bi ando me ko.
His mother, Agnes Tete, shares her son's agony.
Miss Soma, mi ba no se bia obewu. Miss Soma no se bia bibi ben. Ti mi slaban. Eni no ko fon mo gate nanu. No mama kwana mi san ko ken donu en family no na onu.
Officials at the chest department of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital says Emmanuel and his mother's fears are not misplaced.
Our drug, every day the patient has to take the drug. We don't even omit one day or even holidays. All the holidays, Saturdays and Sundays, the patient is supposed to take his or her drugs. And when a patient hasn't taken the drug for 2 weeks, that means they are allowing the patient to become seriously sick, because the bacteria which we are trying to kill can multiply at any time. And for the past 2 weeks that the patient is not going to take the drug is very serious.
Emmanuel's ordeals represent the trials of other TB patients who take their medication from the living clinic.
The TB virus is getting more grounds in them, and they can even spread it to the environment because there are people who live within the community.
Officials at the chest department of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital wants authorities to grant access to the living clinic immediately.
The authorities should allow, even if it is one nurse, they should allow the nurse to go inside, collect the pin cards for the patient with their drugs, and then they can move. Without the pin card or our red card, they can't even hand over the patient to any other clinic.
For now, Emmanuel Ikununu is only hoping authorities grant him and other patients access to the clinic soon.
We're taking a break now, after which we'll bring you business news. Please stay tuned. Time for business news, and Emmanuel Abuaje Uyafe is here. Good evening to you, Emmanuel.
Good evening. How is it?
I'm good. How about you?
Catching a little cold, but I hope
think it has to do with the weather.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, it has to do with the weather.
Slight changes in the weather.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay. Give us the business news now.
All right. So in business, currency dealers at commercial banks are challenging claims that the current stability of the Ghana cedi may not be sustainable. This follows comments by some currency analysts that the local currency's stability will not last because it is not supported by robust monetary policy measures. They, however, attribute the cedi's performance to less demand for dollars during these times. But the Financial Markets Association, which is made up of treasurers and currency dealers in the commercial banks, say these suggestions are not accurate. Othniel Kwano is a board member of the association.
So far, what we have seen is that the fiscal situation has improved quite tremendously, and also there is a better cohesion between the monetary side as well as the fiscal side of the economy. As far as we see, there's been some tightness in monetary policy. Central Bank has been quite strong in terms of how much liquidity they put in the market, and these, make no mistake about it, play a very key role in terms of how the currency behaves by way of the amount of money in circulation. So whenever there's a slowdown in, let's say, money supply, you clearly can see that there's a direct impact on how much FX is being sought after. And for now that you've seen interest rates also being much more attractive, it makes more sense for people to have CD assets rather than going to FX where the currency is stable. So a lot of people are basically getting away from holding, let's say, dollars as opposed to CDs.
But some people are arguing that there isn't more demand or serious demand for dollars because people are not importing now, people are not restocking now, and that is why we are seeing the stability, and it's not because of all those things that you've said.
This is a result of fiscal consolidation, and of course that also has a direct impact on economic activity. We are not seeing so much economic activity because the economy has shrunk in a way, and therefore that has also impacted the demand that we have in the market. We expect that with the coming on stream of the power situation and other factors, we expect the economy to pick up, but that's not what we are seeing, and that is also resulting in the low demand that we are seeing in the market. And we are looking at a situation where last year and this year we are seeing a depreciation of, let's say, 0.3% this year as opposed to somewhere around 9% last year. And the consistency with which they have been in the market is also helping to remove this level of high volatility in the market.
Now, information technology giant Oracle says Ghana remains one of the best places to do business in the sub-region despite current economic setbacks. Oracle, which has been doing business in Ghana for the past 20 years, opened its new regional office in Accra today. This is expected to deepen its business relationship with Ghana. Cluster leader of Oracle in sub-Saharan Africa, Sherien Varghese, has been telling Joy Business why Ghana was selected to host the firm's regional office.
Ghana for us is a celebration. Ghana for us is a country with huge potential. Ghana is a country where we've got a lot of customers, so we felt that this is the right opportune moment. We also use Ghana office as a hub to service other African countries in the neighborhood. So it's got right location, right place, and great talent pool.
We are in an election year. Of course, here in Ghana is characterized by economic uncertainty. So I find it interesting that at this particular point, Oracle decides that we want to make some more investments in Ghana. Why are you doing so?
If you look at the track of Oracle globally, financial dips, election years, political changes is really not our charter of opening offices. We open offices based on the local needs and requirements of the country. We open environments based on capacity. We build based on our customer requirements. So the potential of the country is always envisaged by the opportunity it provides and the need for ICT growth. So that's the choice for us. So it is not affected by anything else other than other parameters.
Now, government will by next month roll out a comprehensive program to replace all fluorescent bulbs into LED ones. This is part of an initiative towards energy conservation to ease the pressure on the power production in the country. Deputy Minister for Power, John Jinapo, revealed this at a program to launch Philips energy-efficient LED bulbs.
As part of moves to reduce energy consumption in the country, global leader in lighting innovations Philips has launched an energy-efficient LED bulbs. The bulb reduces energy consumption by up to 85%. General Manager of Philips, Felix Darko, believes switching to LED bulbs will therefore reduce costs for consumers.
You replace these bulbs with the small boy danger, you'll be saving not less than 75% of your energy usage. And what that saving translates into cash is, assuming that you pay 200 Ghana cedis every month, between 40 to 60 Ghana cedis is a saving that you'll be making every month if you switch. And if you add it, call it by 12, you can understand the maths, the total saving that you'll be making as a consumer. So we'd encourage all consumers that this is a great opportunity. Go out there, pick Philips Echo Bright or Philips Small Boy Danger, and it will bring a lot of relief to you.
Deputy Minister for Power, John Jinapo, meanwhile, says government is advancing moves to reduce the demand for power across the country.
Looking at the month of April, in the month of April, we intend commencing the program. We are going through the preparatory stages to ensure that we roll out a comprehensive program, and so that is what we are doing. We're going to deal with numerous companies. We want the best product at a cost-reflective or cost-efficient rate. And so one is about quality, two is about cost, because we don't want to pass too much cost. And bear in mind, as I indicated, we intend subsidizing the price of the bulbs to the barest minimum.
International speaker and business mogul Vusi Tembekawayo has emphasized the need for investors in Africa and, for that matter, Ghana, to provide venture capital funding for local enterprises. This, according to him, is the only way local startups could expand beyond their boundaries onto the international front. Mr. Vusi Tembekawayo spoke to Joy Business at the first edition of the Inspire Ghana series by Stanbic Bank in collaboration with Joy FM.
But what's missing is a strong community of venture capitalists. The reason for that is because when many Africans make money, the first place they spend it is everywhere but Africa. Right? So think about it. Many Africans own homes in fancy parts of the world. They all drive fancy European cars, which means we're exporting our capital rather than reinvesting it here. The first thing we've got to do is we've got to change our thinking. So our thinking is wrong. In the main, we think about ourselves in small territorial boundaries. If I create a business here, I'm thinking about the consumer right outside the doors. If I create a business in Tamale, I think about the consumer in Tamale. Rather than going, how do I create something here that can reach any corner of the continent, that has universal appeal, and that can help people's lives materially improve? So I think entrepreneurs have to change their thinking. There's one part of the solution. The second part of the solution is you need people who have capital to start reinvesting it back in the productive capacity of the continent, make it available to entrepreneurs, and the two shall meet, and you'll then create a strong ecosystem that will build the continent.
Vusi Tembekawayo is an international business person and also an international speaker. Now, tomorrow is a holiday, and so we don't have any stock activity. Tomorrow is ending actually today. And John is here to tell us what happened today. John,
Well, today the market actually has been quite mixed in terms of its approaches and, of course, how investors actually approach the market today. We didn't see liquidity quite low as compared to yesterday and even I think Tuesday. Today actually saw almost about 259,209 trading on the market as against 852. So you can actually tell the reason why I'm saying that activity level here today very low at the value of 262,000 as against 763 basically. So I think investors have that particular attitude towards it as we head towards the holiday period. So bringing market capitalization of 56 billion. So that's basically how it is. But these were the four top movers of the market: Goil, Aluex, GCB, and then Carl. Carl, the only loser for the day, losing about 1 peso. But then the topmost gainer happens to be Goil, which actually added 2 pesos to the investors' capital. So this how the market actually did fare again. But then moving on to the commodities, basically oil is still wallowing around 40. That is how it is going. Actually, yesterday it was 39. Yeah. Now it actually struggled to actually gain some numbers to actually get to about 40. No, so it's now selling at $40.50 after it lost about 20 cents today. Gold also lost 55 cents today to close the market around 1,222, and cocoa only gained $5 to close around 2,968. So that's exactly how the commodities are faring on the global stage. But then on the currencies, we're looking at it. Still the CD quite not strong against the United States dollar, but then the difference is quite marginal, insignificant. But against the British pound, it actually sort of like gathered some momentum and then gained some pressure against the British pound, the euro, and the Chinese yuan. So basically, that's how the market actually ended or concluded as we get towards the holiday festivities.
Any holiday for you tomorrow?
We're yet to see.
All right, so that was John Kojo Anwaku with the stock market update, and that wraps up the business segment. My name is Emmanuel .atani. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, with the business news. Now on to the rest of our stories. Large quantities of expired goods and drugs have been confiscated from some shops and chemists at Elmina by the Commander Edina Aguafo Ebrem KEA Municipal Environmental and Mental Health Office. This was during a special 2-week operation to rid the shops in the municipality of expired products. It was a collaboration between the Food and Drugs Authority and the KEA Assembly.
Central Regional Manager of the Foods and Drugs Authority, Kingsley Insiapoku, narrates to Joy News how the expired products were uncovered.
We discovered that one shop, Rita Kunsen Chemical Shop, they had over 150 expired products. Individual, 150, over 150 of them. And there's another shop, Something Chemical Shop, also in Elmina. It also had over 100 to 150 products of expired products. We seized all of them, we took inventory, and we informed the police. That's why we are now at the police station here.
KEA Environmental Health Officer Alex Damte, who led the group to undertake the operations, tells Joy News the assembly will not rest until perpetrators of such acts are brought to book.
This is a routine exercise that is going to be carried on with our collaborators. We have the support of the Food and Drug Authority, the police, and the general public, even the media. And it's going to continue from here. It's not a 9-day wonder. It's going to continue.
In this operation, 2 pharmacies in the Elmina town center were closed after expired drugs were cleared off their shelves. Some of the expired goods seized so far include assorted canned fish, drinks, and beer. Those arrested are currently in police custody. According to Alex Damte, the items will be destroyed after a court action has been taken against the sellers. A report by Richard Kojunyakun for Joy News.
Child malnutrition accounts for 1 in 3 deaths of children under age 5 in Ghana. The situation clearly has implications on the country's ability to supply the human resources needed to drive development. Though the Ghana Health Service says exclusive breastfeeding of newborns until their 6th month could reduce the deaths by half, the advice is not followed through by many. Together with UNICEF, however, there's a new program seeking to drive behavioral change using staged plays by school children. Joy News' Justice Beidou had been to the Volta region to find out more about the initiative.
A call to action. This is Have Jerusalem, the Volta regional town at the heart of Ghana's fight against child malnutrition. More than 10,000 children die every year of malnutrition, but very little is known about the problem in the country.
Give me only breast milk for now.
In this town, the Ghana Health Service, with support from UNICEF, has begun a program to draw public attention to the menace using children who send their message through sketches like this one.
Some of the children's mothers are practicing the same way we are teaching them to do, but some, they don't understand the thing that we are teaching them, so I will advise my teachers to come closer to them and tell them what they should do.
It has always been difficult creating change with aid money in many parts of Ghana. But here, in this village of about 1,000 people, it is the incredible sense of community from everyone, including these children, that is helping create change in healthy ways of living and helping many young children grow past their first 1,000 days of life.
After practicing the bad practice, the two practices, I did them all. I neglected first, but before after my train, I came back to myself. So that means I practiced both, and I've realized that it's good to depend on the exclusive breastfeeding for your child to be actually healthy at 2. That's what gingered me after practicing both, and I've selected the exclusive breastfeeding. That is the only food for a child to 6 months. That's why I've came up with this particular play for the whole world to understand.
The impact of bad nutrition is more important the younger you are. And we know that if we miss good nutrition in the beginning, we miss a lot of good things later on in life.
Jifa, age 14, wants to be a doctor. Ruth, 13, wants to be a nurse. And Simon, the bad man in today's play, wants to be a teacher someday. But for now, they are the heroes setting an agenda which they hope will trigger a bigger national discussion. Justice Baidu, Joy News, Have Jerusalem.
Staying in the Volta region, a farming community in the Kachi South District has been provided a community-based health and planning services, or CHIPS compound. The CHIPS compound was constructed by and furnished by CareNet Ghana, a health-focused non-governmental organization. The organization also presented 2 motorcycle ambulances to the district assembly to be allocated to CHIPS compounds. This is to help swiftly transport emergency cases to referral health facilities.
Previously, residents of Levega had to travel about 3 kilometers to the district capital, Akachi, to access health care, either with a motorbike or by foot. Due to this, some pregnant women refused to access antenatal care. Their impoverished lifestyle is also a factor, since they have to spend more to access health care. Bridget Zomelo is one of the few women who strive to access antenatal care and shares her ordeal with Joy News.
When I was pregnant, I always traveled on a motorbike to the hospital in Akachi. The journey most often leaves me with severe body pains due to the bad nature of our roads. The day I felt my baby was due, it was in the night, and we had to travel on foot until we got a motorbike on the way, which took me to the hospital. When you are sick, you have to call for motorbike to help convey you to the hospital. However, due to the bad nature of our roads, the riders most at times feel reluctant in coming to pick us. During the rainy season, the situation becomes dire. We most at times don't get vehicles to transport our farm produce to the markets.
These dreadful days of traveling a long distance to access health care may just be over, following the construction of an €80,000 health facility consisting of a consulting room, records, laboratory, a store, a ward, and other facilities. Due to the water situation in the community, a mechanized borehole system has also been provided on the compound. The CHIPS compound is expected to serve over 3,000 residents from 18 other far-to-reach communities where people travel several kilometers on foot to access healthcare in Akachi. Bridget Zomelo is now happy and grateful to CareNet Ghana for providing the community health center.
I am happy we now have a health facility at Livega. We will no more travel on motorbikes to Akachi for health care. We will only take few steps and get to the health facility. I am really happy.
Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, the executive director of CNG, Patrick Ahuma Okanse, explained that the initiative was to help reduce maternal mortality in Livega and its surrounding communities. He, however, warned the residents not to abuse the motorcycle ambulances, but use it for the intended purpose.
Permit me to say that the provision of this facility alone cannot improve the health of the people without having committed health workers and members of the beneficiary committees taking full responsibility of their own lives by adopting healthy lifestyles and reporting illnesses to the facility on time.
We bring you international news next. What's coming up on Joy News Interactive before Aquahari Singh is here to tell us all about that. Good evening.
Hello, Israel. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you too?
I'm great. Looking forward to the Easter holidays.
Very much so.
Okay, let me tell you what's coming up. You may not think about it, but tuberculosis is huge in Ghana. I mean, 10,000 people are reported to die from the disease in the country every year. Surprisingly, doctors say the stigma is high as well. So will you openly reveal your tuberculosis status?
Why not? I will tell the person I have tuberculosis. As a genuine Ghanaian, you know, you don't have to spread diseases without the knowledge of your brother or your sister. So if I want to communicate with you, I will tell you that, my friend, excuse me, I have tuberculosis.
And a young Ghanaian woman living in Canada was fired from her job for her natural hair. So how important are appearances for you when it comes to work?
As I stand here, I have only 4 shorts. All the clothing that I do have, I have 4 shorts, 3 boots, 4 shorts, 3 boots, and then 5 tops. That's the clothing that I do have. But don't crush me. I have the brace.
In a situation where a man wore a colorful shirt, like a green shirt, a red skirt, a red trousers, carrying a purple belt and an orange shoe, and he's the best, like, he has a brain for the work, but when he went for the interview, they marked him wrong, they failed him.
Brains versus appearances. These stories and more, including comments on the Black Stars win against Mozambique and preparations for Easter, all coming up on the interactive segment, Israel.
All right, thank you very much, Afua. So stay tuned. The news returns in a bit. You're watching Joy News Prime Time now for a recap of our top stories. 3 South Africans arrested by the Bureau of National Investigations for allegedly engaging in acts which threatening the security of the state have been granted bail, except they are still in the custody of the BNI. Well, the New Patriotic Party says its decision to provide security training for 8 of the party's flag bearers was informed by intelligence suggesting an imminent threat to his life. About 4 members of the Ghana Pentecostal Council have been threatened with death by unidentified persons, but the police is saying that it is doing everything possible to make sure that they are safe. In business, currency dealers at commercial banks challenge claims current stability of the cedi may not be sustainable. And on the occasion of World Tuberculosis Day, a public health physician says 90% of Ghanaians have already been infected with TB, except it remains dormant in their system. Now it is Easter for Christians. Thursday is Holy, leading up to Good Friday. For many others, the Easter season is a good time to travel back home, attend various festivals, or visit fun-packed destinations. Joy News' Latif Idris visited some bus terminals in Accra and reports last-minute travelers are trooping to Kwewu, a destination that has become synonymous with Easter.
Easter is here with us again, and as you can hear in the background, shouting Kwewu, Kwewu. Now, Kwewu is a town in the eastern region and is the home of Easter festivity. We have people traveling from the length and breadth of the country to this town in the eastern region for the Easter festivity. Now, I'm here today at the New Plant Station at Circle, where we have lots of people traveling to this particular area. Most of them are also traveling to their hometowns for the festivity. Now, we would like to get on board one of the buses here, traveling to Kwewu, Nkoko, and other adjoining communities for the Easter celebration, to get an understanding of last-minute travelers, if you like, where they are going and what they intend to do once they get to their hometowns for the Easter celebration. All right, so we are in the bus now, and we want to start our conversation. Hello, you're welcome to Joy News.
Welcome, sir. Kwewu is my hometown. I'm from Nkoko.
Okay.
I'm schooling. No, I'm schooling. You're schooling? At Takrade, yeah.
Okay. Like you said, you are a Kwewu boy. What has made Kwewu the home, of Easter? What is so unique about the Kwewu township that has made people traveling all the way across the country to Kwewu just for the Easter celebration?
For that one, I can't tell much, because I've not been staying there for long. That's why for that one I can't tell much. But for Easter festivity in there, Kwewu be there. The whole thing, like Adom FM, La stations, they are all coming there to have fun. So.
Why is that? Why? That's what I want to know. Maybe you can educate myself and our viewers. Why everybody, goes there? Why?
To have fun, yeah.
Can you tell us why Kwewu has become so popular when you talk of Easter festivity?
Actually, we have so many festivals in Ghana, but for the Kwewu, they don't have any festival that they do celebrate. Okay. So we've put in the Easter as a big celebration that we've been celebrating over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when it gets to Easter, many people, it even serves as tourism. Many people travel from their places to Kwewu to see how we celebrate the Easter holidays.
I have some kids at the back seat. Let's join them. My friend here is already having rice. Hello, your name?
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. How old are you?
9.
You are 9. Where are you going?
I'm going to Koforidua.
Koforidua. For the Easter holiday?
Yes.
Okay. With your sisters here?
Yes.
Okay. What do you intend to do when you get to your destination?
Huh?
What would you be doing when you get there?
Nothing.
Nothing. Just be eating and playing with your friends.
Yes.
Mr. Diane said, "Okokai Christo ni wo ne ni wo sodie said ye Christo ba ye be ye na me so be evangelist. I mean so me ko Nyankopon asem."
What you need you?
Me did the Amos Kwabena Apia Isanti.
Okay. So now we would want to interpret what our father here just said. Now, I've spoken to 2 guys already who told us exactly what they are going to do there. Theirs is to go and have fun. and hang out with friends, if you like. The kids I spoke to also, share the same sentiment, exactly what they are going to do, to play with their friends, and move away from the businesses here in the national capital and have a bit of a fun. But our dad here is saying that Easter marks the death and the resurrection of Christ, and that is exactly what he is going there to, observe, not to go and do, drugs and drink with friends and all of that, as some people, according to him, most of them go there to do. Now he's going there to observe the religious, principle back in the Easter festivity. Now we've had lots of people who are also going out there to various destinations, not just Kwewu. We have people going to Kumasi, Koforidua, across the country, people traveling all the way to meet their families and friends just for the Easter break. Now, one message I have for you out there, if you are traveling as a driver, is to not to drink and drive safely. Once you visit the beach, you also have to be very cautious not to engage yourself in any activity that has the potential of endangering your life. From the New Plan Station here in Accra, this is Latif Idris reporting for Joy News.
Leading members of the opposition New Patriotic Party NPP have paid glowing tribute to former Chief of Staff and Minister of State Jake Otanka-Obetsebi-Lamte. Flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Akufo-Addo, broke down in tears as he described the former chairman of the NPP as an excellent man.
The presidential candidate of the NPP, Nana Akufo-Addo, accompanied by his running mate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and other party stalwarts, visited the family of the late former chairman of the NPP to commiserate with them. An emotional Nana Akufo-Addo described the late Jake Otanka-Obetsebi-Lamte as a splendid patriot.
Not everybody has what you had with him. It will be protection for you as you go forward. He was an excellent man, no doubt. They say we're all in the hands of the Almighty. So he knows why he took him from us at this time. But wherever he is, I know he's there looking after the two of you, keeping an eye on you. Wishing so much for your happiness. Those of us who cared for him, he's left behind. We'll do our best. We'll never fit his shoes, but we'll do our best. Yeah.
Daughter of Jake Obetsebi-Lamte, Karis, described his dad as a strong man who passed on peacefully. Ex-President John Agyekum Kufuor, together with other leading members of the NPP, also called on the family to console them. Ex-President Kufuor credited the late Jake Obetsebi-Lamte with several projects that were executed within his tenure that led to the transformation of the capital city.
Outwardly, he looked so relaxed, laid back. He never raised his voice. Even when he disagreed, he would make his point all right. But he wasn't the type, very much like, unlike Accra boy, not the type that would raise his fists to hit. But the Obroni in him came out, laid back, criticized. If you agreed, he worked. If you didn't agree, he would just keep mute and look the other way. But invariably, you'd see that he had a point. So this is how we came to work quite closely. Through many ministries. But an aspect I would want to talk about today is how I think I would claim it, that just the two of us, through some conversation, we came to agree that Accra really wasn't as beautiful as it should be.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and other leading members of the NPP later signed a book of condolence in honor of the late party chairman.
Again, may his soul rest in perfect peace, and our condolences to the family. Up next, we bring you entertainment. It's the first day before the long weekend, long holiday, and you're here to tell us what to. So I can imagine that it's going to be full of events lined up for them.
Yes.
One of them being Uncle Ebo's
£1 million. Yes. That's happening over this weekend, like you said.
Yeah.
It's happening on Saturday, Sunday, and on Monday as well. This weekend, and then next weekend is Saturday and Sunday. So you definitely can't miss this one.
That's
and you know,
definitely something you must want to attend.
Yes, and Uncle Ebo guarantees every lady her money back if after 5 minutes they get bored. Yes, he says that you get your money back if you're not excited by what you see in the first 5 minutes of that play.
It's true. Both men and women are going to be excited.
Oh, okay. You have seen it, so I know you're talking from what you've seen so far. All right, so John Dumelo has been trending all day on Twitter.
Oh, what has he done this time?
And it's because he's been made a tourism ambassador for Ghana.
Okay. That's like Abraham Mata.
Okay, so that's the question everybody's asking now. John Dumelo has been made tourism ambassador. Before now, we heard that he was Abraham Mata, who the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts decided to make an ambassador for Ghana. Then we hear of John Dumelo. So people are asking, so what happens to Abraham Mata? And why John? So John has been explaining, and what he says to us is that this is voluntary. He decided to become an ambassador for Ghana, and that's because he travels. And whilst he travels, he tries to showcase what Ghana has got on his social media page. So it's not like he's going to get anything from the ministry.
Okay.
It's just him trying to sell Ghana to the world.
Well, in that case, I also want to be a tourism ambassador, because when I also travel, I carry along chocolates and I share chocolates to people. I tell people that this chocolate is coming from Ghana.
How many times do you see that? Do I see that on your social media page, your
I don't
Instagram?
put it on social media. I just share with people.
That's the difference. So John goes on social media and shows pictures of where he's been and what Ghana looks like. And so he's selling Ghana. And that's how come they've approved that he is a tourism ambassador for Ghana.
Does it come with any benefit?
It doesn't come with any benefit. All the thing is that he gets is that he has the title, but no money in his pockets.
Okay, but possibly it could give you access to the VVIP lounge at
maybe.
When you're traveling, you go through VVIP.
Maybe because you're a tourism.
Maybe giving a service passport.
Maybe, but it comes with no cash. So
I'll take it.
You will take it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
please make me one.
Yes, Madame Jafar and
make me one.
Madame
Tourism
Elizabeth.
ambassador.
Yeah.
I buy my own chocolates and share for free.
Okay.
Ghana-made chocolates.
All right, so we are waiting. And when you get the VVIP treatment, remember that I also helped in advocating for you.
You can also become ambassador.
Anyway, so another news that has made a lot of airwaves today is Miss Bell's interview with delay. Now, the interview is yet to be aired, but people are talking about it. And here's why.
Did you ever sleep with Kofi Amwami?
Oh yeah, a lot of times.
And let's just. Did you ever sleep with Kofi Amwami?
Oh yeah, a lot of times.
And let's just.
Why are you surprised? That's Israel's best friend, Miss Bell, and she's my friend as well. I don't know. I can't wait to see the full interview. I don't know what triggered that question, and I don't know.
I mean, but you'd expect that Delay is going to ask the question like that. I mean, because this thing has been outstanding for a while now.
True.
You know,
there's been lots of talk about it. That's true.
So I'm not surprised it came up, actually. I mean, if she didn't ask the question, I'd be surprised. And but the fact that she answered.
Oh yes, a lot of times, you know.
Well, because she's avoided this.
Exactly. And you know, in this interview, we are told that she actually talked about the paternity of her son. So we all can't wait to see the detailed interview when it's ready. And I'm sure by next week.
This is a major scoop for Delay.
I'm telling you, you know, from Chatawale's wife to this one, I'm telling you, but we can't wait to see the detailed interview by next week.
And she actually brought photos.
Oh, yeah. No, those photos have been on the internet a long while.
Oh, they have?
Yes, they have been on the internet.
This intimate one?
Yes, this one with her head resting on Chief Executive Officer, former of UT Bank's chest. You know, it's been everywhere. Let's move on. And confidence.
Where have I been?
Okay,
Which social media have I been watching?
You haven't been following things enough, you know. You've been doing too much news.
Let's carry on.
Anyway, all right. Another gossip. Confidence is in the news, and your friend Confidence, who delivered a baby boy some months ago, now has been seen in the streets of London, you know, taking the baby for a walk. And so we chanced on a picture we decided to share. So she's doing well. See how you're all smiles, you know.
Yeah, but we still haven't seen the photo. Confidence, you owe me. The first photo of the baby, so I'm waiting for that.
Okay, so we're waiting for it whilst we wait.
Confidence, I know you're watching me now. Okay, can I get to see? I want to speak to Confidence directly on camera.
Yeah.
Right, that'll be all for the bulletin. Before we go, the quick run through our top stories. 3 South Africans arrested by the Bureau of National Investigations for allegedly engaging in acts which threaten the security of the state have been granted bail, except they could not meet the bail conditions and so are still in the custody of the BNI. Meanwhile, the new Patriotic Party says its decision to provide security training for aides of the party's flag bearer was informed by intelligence suggesting an imminent threat to his life. Meanwhile, about 4 members of the Ghana Pentecostal Council have been threatened with death by unidentified persons. The police says it is working to ensure their safety. Currency dealers at commercial bank challenge claims current stability of the cedi may not be sustainable. That was in business. And on the occasion of World Tuberculosis Day, a public health physician says 90% of Ghanaians have already been infected with TB, except it remains dormant in their system. The National Tuberculosis Control Program, meanwhile, says it needs $80 million annually to tackle the mounting cases. That'll be all for the bulletin. For more news, though, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Israel Lion. On behalf of the team, I wish you a good night and happy Easter.